Hello, everyone. What I want to do is go over quiz one. So the average and the median were roughly a solid B. So the scores were pretty good, pretty typical for this course. But enough people, I would say, made enough mistakes that it's worthwhile to go over this quiz. Okay, so for this problem here, you initially invest 5,000. And at the end of the first year, you invest another 5,000. At the end of the fourth and fifth year, you withdraw X, find X if you have 10,000 at the end of the fifth year. And we earn 7% compound interest, effective annual interest. So I definitely think a lot of people could have avoided mistakes if they drew a time diagram. Definitely some people got the problem correct without drawing a time diagram. And if you don't feel like you need it, that's okay. But I do want to stress that they really don't take much time to draw. I'm going to draw this in a whole matter of less than a minute. So 5,000 initial investment. At the end of the first year, you invest another 5,000. Okay, and here we have, well, end of the fourth and fifth year, you withdraw X. Okay. So yeah, let me, like I did in the videos, let me actually draw this here so that I can, well, actually, yeah. So let me maybe, well, that's the time diagram, what I just had a second ago. Okay. Okay, so right. So let me erase and maybe redo the time diagram in a way more similar to how I did it in the videos, to maybe make it clearer exactly what accrues how much interest. So this 5,000 here accrues 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years of interest. So it's 5,000. And of course, you don't have to do this. I think some people did this, even when they did draw a time diagram, some people did this. Some people just left the time diagram as I had before, then just computed. It's absolutely fine. Okay. Now we have this 5,000 at the end of the first year. That accrues 1, 2, 3, 4 years of interest. So it's 5,000, 1.07 to the fourth. 5 years of interest is 5,000, 1.07 to the fifth. Now we have the minus X here. Okay, and that's at the end of the fourth year. Well, that accrues 1 year of interest. So minus X, 1.07. Let me make that a little, yeah, so let me make this a little neater. Not that it matters much, but it bothers me a little bit when it's not very neat. Okay, so, right, this is at minus X times 1.07. And last but not least, well, we have the minus X at the end of the fifth year. And that accrues no interest because we're looking at the account at the end of the fifth year. So that accrues no interest. All right, so 10,000 is how much we have at the end of the fifth year. And, well, add all these up is also how much we have at the end of the fifth year. So you get 5,000, 1.07 to the fifth, 5,000, 1.07 to the fourth, minus, maybe move the 1.07 in front of the x, looks a little neater. Okay. Yeah, and what a lot of people did was, let me erase some of these here. If you just bear with me a second. And this is perfectly fine too. What I'm about to do is what a lot of people did. The erase function is really cumbersome here, so sorry about that. Maybe I definitely should look into a better PDF viewer than Adobe Acrobat, but anyway, so. Right, so what some people did was just they had the time diagram exactly like I had before. So they just put the 5,000 at the initial 5,000 and 5,000 at the end of the first year, and then minus x at the end of the fourth and fifth year. And then they just said, well, based on this time diagram, this 5,000 earns 5 years of interest. This 5,000 earns 4 years of interest. Minus x earns 1 year. The minus x here earns no interest. And yeah, that's perfectly fine. It's a nice medium, medium between, I guess, what I had before and just not drawing a time diagram. But anyway, enough talking. You solve for x, you get 1723.06. Okay, so for the next one, very similar to homework. Basically the homework problem, except the homework problem had the same interest rate here. Just changed it. So you invest 50,000 and withdraw when you hit 100,000. For full years, the account earns 4% compound interest, effective annual interest. And for fractions of years, it earns 6% simple interest. Find how long it takes for the funds to be withdrawn. So we do this just like we did in the homework. So it's 1.04 to the n. We solve for n, and you get 2 is 1.04 to the n. So then you just take natural log of both sides. N is ln of 2 over ln 1.04, and you get, what do you get? 17.67. So that corresponds to 17 full years. And again, just like I did in the lecture example, if you want to check, you plug in 17 here, plug in 17 into what I'm circling, you'll get less than 100,000. Plug in 18 into what I just circled, you'll have more than 100,000. Okay. Okay, so let's find out how much we have in 17 years. So the fund in 17 years will have 50,000, 1.04 to the 17, which is, not going to try and squeeze it there, 97,395.02478. Okay, so for fractions of years, let's say, well, let's just say S is the fraction of the 17th year that money sits in the account. So just set it up like we did before. 100,000 is 97,395.02478. Or another way of thinking, S is the amount of simple interest this 97,395 and 25, and roughly 2 cents earns. So it's 6% simple interest. So it's 1 plus 0.06 S. Right? And again, S is how much how much time 97,395.02 earns simple interest for. So you solve for S, you get 0.44577. So the total time that money sits in this account is roughly 17.5 years. 17.4457 years. Now, what some people did, which was very odd, is they had 1.06 times S. That really doesn't make sense in any way as a growth anything. You know, it really just doesn't make sense. So I don't know why people did that, but anyway. Yeah, simple interest is always 1 plus your simple interest rate times the amount of time the amount of time money sits in the account. So, okay. And another thing that I want to address, I did see people talk about this quiz on a GroupMe chat. Don't do that, please. I still have to vet out the exact penalties for people who were discussing this quiz on the GroupMe. But yeah, I take pride in not using the very draconian, creepy, whatever you want to call it, software that monitors people's body movement, eye movement, et cetera, when taking quizzes, because there's a dozen reasons why I don't like to use that software. I'm sure you've heard criticisms of it. Basically, just any criticism you've heard of such a cheating prevention method is probably why I don't like to use it. So yeah, so I really don't want to have to use it. So please don't discuss the quizzes. Anyway, enough of that. And if I do find people discussing it, well, I will penalize you depending on, how severe depending on what exactly you discussed about the quiz. But there will be a penalty if I see people doing it in the future. And certainly for repeat offenders, the penalty will be quite harsh. So anyway, so long, take care. And if you're viewing this today, Wednesday, February 17th, it's a gorgeous, gorgeous day out. Sun's out. It's cold, it's anything, but still. I'm excited that the sun is out. I'll be surely going for a walk right after this video to catch in some sun. So enjoy it. Take care. Stay safe. Bye-bye.